We were supposed to do some simple bleeding of the brakes. Now, a lot of people don't know this, especially if you never had a classic car. So we're gonna run through this. Before you bleed your brakes, if your system is new, meaning your booster and your, I got distracted, master cylinder. Okay, your master cylinder and your booster. If these are new, there's going to be air in them. You're going to have to bleed those first. Now, some people take this off, put it on a bench, push the piston in the back. It's two hoses that go here that go right back into these two reservoirs. That's these two hoses. They screw in to the side. And then there's a stopper. This little stopper right here. You take this out, put that stopper in there. It pushes all the air out and fills it up with fluid. Then you connect these two lines. This rear line goes to this rear cup. This rear cup goes down to your rear brake lines and your back tires. This reservoir line goes to, obviously, your front wheels. So, with that stopper in there, you loosen up the bleeding spot. That's what this is. All four tires got a spot like this. And some of the ones on the back have a rubber cover. I think these just came off, but this deal right here, you put the hose or a hose over this. Like that. And when you push the brake, when you loosen this up, you turn this about a half turn. And when you push the brake pumps fluid to each of these calipers. It's the pressure of the brake fluid that makes the calipers close. When you release the brake, they open. If you have air in there, they won't close. So that's what you're bleeding the brakes for. So when you start off, you want to start off with the longest line because that's got the most air. That'll be your passenger rear tire. Then you go to your driver's rear tire. Then you go to your passenger. And you go to your front. What I ended up doing, I had taken it off and because it no matter how much I pumped it, it was still air in the lines. Now logic told me there's a seal that's broken because it's air that's constantly getting in there. Because we were pumping the brake for like 5 or 10 minutes. And I had paid somebody to actually install that, and they were having trouble. So what they did was they just took my money because the car wasn't running. They just took the money and was like, well, he ain't gonna find out. So that's why there is merit in learning how to do all this, because you're gonna end up having to fix it anyway. So just learn how to do it yourself. You ain't gonna cheat yourself. So I found out the seal on the back of the man, something in my eye. On the back of the master cylinder, right here, was allowing leakage, and thereby that's where the air was coming in. So I went and got another one because the one I had is metal, right here, and I had to replace the chrome. So that's over there in case I need a top or something. So I put it on the shelf. A lot of times, people need different parts, different stuff. Maybe somebody will need arms or something like that. So I'm not gonna put it away. But that was the bleeding process, and it ended up having to be an install. But what I did learn, I learned exactly what the reservoirs were for and how they run, and I learned leave leave the master cylinder on the car when you're bleeding the master cylinder. Just pump the brake. Why are you trying to push something in there on the bench? They call it bench bleeding. Leave it on the car. Put the hoses into there, and then just have somebody pump the brakes. Now, we on every video they say, "Oh, we'll show you how to bleed your brakes with just one person." You make the little bottle and the long hose, and I've done that before. That works if the car is not brand new. If all the stuff ain't brand new, you can do that. But the problem is, especially when you're doing a new car and a car that's long, if your reservoir pumps out all of the brake fluid, air is going to start going in there. So if you're in the car pumping, you can't watch that. So 9 times out of 10, just get somebody to pump and you watch, or you have somebody watch while you pump, and you can be constantly filling up your brake fluid, because that's what takes a lot of time. When you're trying to run around and see if you got bubbles, and then you got to check the master cylinder, and then you got to get back in the car and pump. Don't do that. Don't do that. And that bench bleeding, I'm sure it's people much smarter than me, but I spill more uh, brake fluid trying to push in, because everything gets slippery once you get some of that oil on you. The trying to push that piston in, everything's greasy, everything's slipping, and you constantly spilling more oil, and things get slippery, or it's a mess. Just leave it on the car. Leave it on the car. Make it happen. So that was the problems I had. But once I realized what the problem was, bought another one. It just goes on. It's 2 bolts on either side. It's light work, and it was as simple as it should have been, until you found out what the problem. When you found out what the problem was, it was all good. So, what does that mean? That means we have a functioning transmission. We got functioning brakes. What is our issue now? My buddy knows how to stop these from leaking. I can't get these to stop leaking. So I'm gonna have my buddy come over, make sure I can get those going without leaking, and then I can at least go through the gears, make sure it's running right. I got to put fluid in my rear end, and then we got to sand these spots down. Sand down these spots. Spot paint all these spots that need to be painted. And then once everything is spot painted, up here, spot painted, spot painted. Once we got all that done, I'm gonna scuff the car, tape the car, clear the car. I'm still working on a design for this trunk. I have to put the carpet down, obviously. But how I did this, I really like how it turned out, but I don't have any room for lights back here because everything is made to fit tightly. So I got to figure out, maybe I can run lights along here. I don't know. I don't know. I got to figure out the light deal. I got to figure out how I'm going to do these lights. Um, I got to take the deck lid off and paint the bottom of it so I can put a mirror kit on it. I got to put a mirror kit on the hood. Putting the fenders and stuff on, that's, do that in a couple hours. It looks like a bigger job than it is. So this car is really, really closer to being done than it looks. I got to get these windows adjusted. I got to move these windows back so I can get my upholstery on, my door panels on. Gotta cover these wires up, which I got all of that stuff for that. But the car is looking good, sounding good. Yeah, so what am I going to get done today? I think I'm gonna try to get it sanded. I might even do some painting. It just really depends on what the wife is talking about. But this car is really, really close to being done. This is the last time, like everything is being done for the final time. Like nothing should be being taken off and put back together again. So this should be the last time everything is being taken off of the car. And then this goes up north, and I bring down my 62 convertible and my 62 hardtop, and I cut the top off of my 62 hardtop and make it a convertible. All right, well, see you guys soon. This is the heartache of bleeding brakes.